Hello, I'm Elizabeth Ashley, the Secret Healer, and it appears that in the last couple of days I've worked out how to use my mailing list. No, I clicked a button and everybody got lots of emails that I didn't mean to send. But however, I've had some lovely responses from them, and I've noticed that there's a common theme amongst the questions that I've been had. So many lovely emails off people, and also off my friends saying, what are you doing to look after yourself in this time? Because you seem quite calm. Your hair looks good. No, my hair doesn't look good. It really needs a cut, but it's it's looking happy and healthy at least. And yeah, I'm managing not to look too lockdown mongous, I don't think, most of the time. But most people want to know, how are you looking after yourself? Because we're aware that you've got all those essential oils. What are you doing to prevent yourself from getting the virus? Well, the answer to that is, if somebody's telling you you can prevent it, they're telling you lies. But I have some aromatic rituals up my sleeve that I thought I'd share. So first of all, let me talk to you a little bit about ritual, because when I started researching my Melissa book, the Melissae were priestesses, ancient Greek priestesses, and they were priestesses of the nature goddesses like Demeter, but also Cybele, Aphrodite, Artemis, many different people. And their job was to open the space between the supplicant, the person that was praying, and the goddess, to make sure that there was favour brought. And I got very interested in this whole idea of ritual, and started thinking about how my life was quite governed by routine and ritual, because my middle child has Asperger's syndrome. So we've always had a very clear routine of we do this time, this time. And everybody who knows me knows not to ring at 6:30, because that's what time tea will be served up come hell or high water. So I really got interested in these different aromatic rituals, and I have 5 that are keeping me going through this strange period of time that we're going through. So I thought I would talk you through them, just in case you felt they were helpful to help you keep calm and healthy and what have you. So the first one is my tea tree oil. So you'll notice that I did panic buy and bought quite a large one, really, for me. I already have several bottles of tea tree oil, but I felt that it was important to have a new one, just because we have nice, fresh, clear, strong molecules. My outdated oils sometimes are a bit rubbish. So what do I do with it? Well, do I put loads and loads on? No, I do not. No, I do not. So all I do is I inhale it. So depending on where you want to get to. Now, I have, for those of you who don't know, I have dodgy lungs. After having a blood clot in my lungs, there's quite a lot of scar tissue that I've worked on over the years with essential oils and with plants and herbals, and they're quite stable now, but how they'll fare if we get the bug, I have no idea. So one can inhale up the nose. Or one can, like I do, inhale in the mouth. Now this is tea tree. Now why the difference? Well, actually, there's not that much difference, but by inhaling in the mouth, I'm taking the molecules right down into the lungs, and I'm cleansing all of the system. Now remember, when you're using topically, all you're using is a larger amount of molecules. The aromatic molecules are the ones that will go right down into the lungs, dissipate through, and of course what they'll do is go into the lungs, out through the capillaries of the lungs, into the bloodstream and circulate, but the most amount of concentration in the lungs. Yeah. Also this way, and I'm going to talk about inhalation with another oil in a minute, but just to clarify, if we're doing it this way, the downside of doing it this way to me is I don't like the smell. I know you're not supposed to say that about tea tree, but I don't. But as the molecules go up the nose, they go to the olfactory bulb, they get sorted around the brain, and they act on the brain in the ancient part, primitive part of the brain called the limbic system, which influences the emotions. I'm going to use that in another format in a minute, hence why I do it in the lungs. And I try and breathe as deeply as possible so that I really inflate the lungs to give loads of space for the oils to dissipate. Yeah? So, one more time. And I exhale through the nose just so that I can hold on to the molecules as much as I can. So that seems to me the most efficient way of cleansing the system. Of course, washing your hands, do it to death, you know, wash. If you're coughing and sneezing, don't know, nobody's saying this, but wash your face, please. Those germs are on the face. Get rid of them as fast as you can, but breathe the inhaler. So that's hack number 1. Hack number 2 is not an essential oil, it's a herbal tea. Those of you who don't know why I disappeared for a while, I was in hospital for a little short amount of time, but also I've been writing and creating, and I do go AWOL. I'm a Cancerian, I disappear into my shell, that's what I do. But I have been quite poorly with acid reflux, and so as an alternative medicine practitioner, well, complimentary really, I did take the drugs the doctor gave me, but I gave them a week and then said, right, we need to find a way to undo this mess I've made of my body. So lots of introspection, lots of taking out foods that were aggravating it. Sadly, tomatoes, happily, sugar. Hence why I look considerably slimmer, because it does make me ill. But luckily for me, aniseed balls, we're friends. We're really friends. So there's a sugar fix and a dental appointment waiting to happen if ever there was one. But my biggest friend, chamomile tea. So first of all, let me tell you, if you have got acid reflux, 2 big friends. The first is a drink of lemon and ginger, fresh lemon, fresh ginger, every day. Really makes a difference. The second is chamomile tea. Every day makes a tremendous difference. Now, those people who tell you that essential oils and herbs do not have side effects are telling you the truth, but only marginally. What they have is many main effects. And so if you consume lots and lots of chamomile, what you do is you get a very laissez-faire attitude of que sera, sera, whatever will be, will be. That's her song. She sings it all the time to me, and I do get a bit like that. So that's helpful. That's very helpful right now. Stop worrying that you're going to catch it. Do what you can do. Do what you can do. Try and be nice to everybody. Try and stay calm. Calm is a big factor. So, chamomile tea. Very, very helpful. The next is my cards. Now, for 2 reasons, right? The first is that, let me tell you about a trial first of all, because that makes more sense. There was a tremendous trial that was published just before we went down into lockdown, maybe February time. And if I was like a credible researcher with any kind of authority, I would be able to tell you the name of the researcher, the country it came from, and the date it was published. February. But I can tell you that it's titled something like The Effects of Essential Oils on Oxytocin. Now, why did they do the trial first of all? Because they've discovered that oxytocin, if you don't know what that is, it's like a hormone neurotransmitter, is responsible for bone density. That's new. That's really new to me. Oxytocin's like this lovely bonding hormone. It's what gives contractions in birth, that kind of ripply feeling when you have an orgasm, bonding, you know, that lovely cuddly feeling of please don't get out of bed, you know, or oh my new baby for some mums, you know, lovely cuddly hormone really makes us feel connected with life. If you hold hands, you have a surge of oxytocin. So bone density. So what they decided was, now we understand that oxytocin has a bearing on bone density, so therefore there's a correlation with people who are older women. After you've had menopause, then your bones become more brittle. Don't worry about osteoporosis, that kind of thing. Therefore, what can we do to help with this hormone? Could essential oils help? So what they did was they gave, I think, 26, but I might have made that number up as well, women who were postmenopausal. They gave them 20 oils to inhale for 5 minutes a day over a period of 6 weeks. So one inhales up the nose this time. It's terrible. It's really hard therapy, this is. This is geranium. I'm all right with geranium. So 5 minutes. Be a long video if I did that, wouldn't it? And they did go through the list of all the different essential oils that they used. But what I can tell you is anything that you think makes you feel flowery and lovely and happy and, you know, relaxed, raise the oxytocin. All of them, without fail, all the 20 did. They all raised the oxytocin. So they felt that this was an avenue that what they're going to do next is try and take it forward to see whether that can have an effect on the bone density. But for you and I, at the moment, in this time when we're isolated from going and seeing our loved ones, some of us, I have to say, thank God, not me, are having to be on our own with nobody else for 12 weeks or what have you. If you've got an essential oil, not only will it make you feel calmer and more relaxed and like you're letting go of all these worries, it's raising oxytocin. Helps you feel more connected to everything that's going round. So that is my geranium. And geranium is one of my favourites to use, but what I'm actually doing each day is using these Tongue of the Trees cards. And if you haven't seen them yet, oh my goodness me, my desk is so messy. There it is, upside down, back to front on yours. But they are 56 cards. And what I do is I draw one for me and I draw one for my readers each day. Seems like the right thing to do. And these tap into the emotional parts of the body. It's completely bypassing the physical stuff, although if you go on to get them and you get the knowledge base as well, it does talk about the physical medicine, but really this is emotional. So, what oil do I need today? What is it? Ginger, impetus. Between you and I, every time I do a video about ginger, I manage to say impotence by accident. So I did very well there. And yours, oh, yours flew out. Oh, nice. Coriander. So I would pick my one oil, which was my ginger, and I will sit with that for 5 minutes, breathing it. I will tell you that. In fact, I won't tell you mine. I'll go straight on to yours, otherwise you'll get bored rigid. So in our little book, we have coriander. Coriander's got a really long poem, and it took me a long time to write it, and I like it. So the key word is what you can expect the oil to do, which is receptiveness. I don't know if you can hear my son squealing and shouting outside. Sorry, I'm not going to pick him up on it. It's the first time it's been out in the daylight for days. So it says, why do you think you can't do it? Too old? Too young or too afraid? I hear you. I've been there, for I am just a seed. Once upon a time, all I wanted to do was be in a salad. I wanted to meld with tomatoes, lime juice, chilies, and be enjoyed for who I am. But the other herbs laughed at me because I'm just a seed. Seeds, Chili told me. You don't belong in salads. You're too tough, too hot, too seedy. So I rolled off the table, and into the soil beneath I concentrated all my energy. I absorbed all the sun I had to give. The rain poured and I celebrated, absorbed all the universe gave it to live. And then, much to my surprise, I shooted, germinated, they said. I cried out to the sun, give me more, and rain down from clouds above. I grew, emerged and gained leaves. Something odd. My flavour changed. No longer earthy, but sassy. Soon a pair of scissors came and I whispered to the chilies, still classy. So, as my spicy leaves lie in that bowl, showing chili how it's done, breathe my earthy oil and I'll show you growing can be fun. I like it. Made me laugh when it came through in the first place. So at the bottom here, there's like a key. So I'll read it to you. It says, it vibrates on the middle note. And its main Chinese medicine attributes are earth and fire. It vibrates on the heart chakra, and Mercury is its planetary medicine. Its attributes are it's warming and drying. It fortifies chi, invigorates yi. Now, if you don't know what yi is the intellect. Helps you think more clearly. It balances vata, pitta and kapha. So this idea of balances yi, that's funny really, because Mercury is thoughts and ideas and data and information and learning. It's the archetype of the student and the teacher. It's all about getting new information in. And if you know much about astrology, or even if you don't really, it's one of those things everybody goes, oh, Mercury retrograde. So Mercury retrograde means that communication doesn't go so well, doesn't it? But it's also about revisiting stuff from the past, stuff that you've left behind that could be actually reworked and thought again. Mercury retrograde, they always say you shouldn't sign a new contract, should you? But you can do old stuff, and that's what Mercury does. It revisits thoughts. Is there better ways to do it? Can we think of it a different way? Meeting new people is Mercury as well. So sometimes if in the Mercury retrograde, it's made to sound a bad thing, but it's actually about going back. It's very fortifying medicine to keep on going back to Mercury. But if you have a Mercury retrograde, quite often, oddly, people from your past might message you or send you an email, or you might bump into them. Very strange, and it does happen over and over again. So this Mercury medicine is about new ideas, new thoughts, but communicating them, being able to communicate them properly. And so if you're a bit worried about the chilies saying to you, oh, you can't do that, you're not clever enough to do that, oh, everybody knows how to do that. No. Be coriander and grow from the seed. Interesting. So that is your reading for today, the coriander. And for me, ginger. And ginger's warming. Ginger's all about my acid reflux, isn't it? It's purple. So purple comes at, well, I don't know, the back of the book somewhere, roots. I see it. So ginger says, I do feel a bit worn out actually. It says, I empathise with how weak you feel, how tired and need of rest. But helping you back on your feet is what ginger does the best. Perhaps it's born from underground, roots hidden from the sun. But when you're weary, let me say, a spicy life is fun. Feel my heat and sense the tingle. Put on a sassy dress. Get your glad rags on. We're off to chase success. Shake off your outdated complacency and your lazy savoir-faire. Climb up above your station. You'll find your fortune there. Thanks, Ginger. So heart chakra, sacral. Sacral's all about sassy desire, lascivious, like lovely velvets and peaches, juicy peaches and sensual stuff. That's the word I'm trying to say. And fire is the heat of summer, but it's also friendship and love and passion and all good stuff. And it's ruled by Aries and Leo. No, Leo is the same. It's the fire energy. It's the ego, really, actually, the self at the beginning. But also, interesting, Aries and Leo are the same thing but different, really. Aries is the baby, the ego of I am important, I will do this is what I want, I need, this is, do it now. Whereas Leo is also about I am, but it's about look at me, I am, you know. It's very, very different. So it's nice that they're both there together, isn't it? Warm to hot, tonifies yang. So yang is activity, passion, drive. It's all the Aries archetype. Aggravates Pitta. Yeah, we have to be careful with the red hair and the pale skin. But I have decided now that Ginger and I are quite good friends of late. Balances Vata and Kapha. Well, that's very helpful to me at the moment because Vata, my brain keeps going off on a million tangents all over the place. And Kapha goes, yeah, but let's just sit still a bit. Let's just watch yet another programme that I actually don't know what's on the telly, but I'm just staring at it. There's a bit of that going on right now, I have to say. So that's Ginger for you. So that was my hack number 2, to spend time with your oil. Mine will be my ginger today. Yours, if you've got coriander, but any oil, spend 5 minutes breathing, inhaling through the nose, get that oxytocin that's in going. But, you know, really think about the architecture of the oil. What's going on in your mind when it happens? Interesting stuff. Now my list. What does my list say? So yes, so next is my oils in my bath. Now, ginger's not going in my bath. No way, Jose. No way, Jose. That's a little bit too much pitta heat for me. But coriander might. I'll have a think about that this afternoon. But oils in my bath every night. Get to sleep every night. Epsom salts every night. Magnesium. Can't stress to you how important it is right now to be having your magnesium to keep you calm. It's needed in around about 300 different bodily processes, and you just are going to grind to a halt if you are deficient. Please get your magnesium if you need to take an oral supplement. Otherwise, Epsom salts in the bath, tremendous. But sleep is so important right now. You need to be rested and restored and rejuvenated, and I never need encouragement to sleep. And then the last one. I'm very lucky. I know how lucky I am to have a beautiful garden. And just in the time that I've been talking to you, the strong silent one's gone backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. He's doing so much all of the time in our garden. It's beautiful. But just smelling the flowers, taking time to just be quiet, enjoying watching nature come up, planting a few seeds. I've planted some potatoes. I've never grown potatoes before. But just slowing down, being in nature, enjoying the flowers coming out. Stop thinking about what's going on outside. Just don't think about it. I have a daughter who is a paramedic, so any of you who think I am in strong denial about what's going on, oh yes, you're right. It's deliberate. It's completely deliberate. But there you are, my 5 hacks, my 5 aromatic rituals. Inhale the tea tree, drink the chamomile tea, get some oils in your bath, get in touch with what your psyche wants, and sleep. Lots and lots of sleep, but also good food. Don't forget that. In the meantime, thank you for all your messages, and keep it up. I love getting them all. And look after yourselves. We can get through this.